Without shame, most people are cowards, filled with greed and vanity, always competing for resources, power and notoriety. In order to gain these things, it required that the masses must be controlled and influenced. In order to acquire resources, blood has to be spilled and our young have to be sacrificed for the greater good. A life, for the sake of the spring. Blood sacrificed in order for the water to flow. Lotteries created evolved into words like the draft, and our children soon march blindly into death's shadow. This was all done in the name of patriotism. Still, we are told that we must sacrifice our young for the sake of the many, and we do not take a moment to figure it out. We and the elites are not one and the same, we are segregated with two separate purposes and standards. The rich enjoy their wealth by manipulation, through standards and symbolism. While exiled in Babylon, the Jewish created their text, in order to retain their identity as God's chosen people. They were living with pagan barbarians, of course, weren't they? People who worshipped gods by laying in their own excrement, yet understood the moon's cycle by the 5th century BC. It is also a wonder how Babylonian ideology found its way into the Talmud and then eventually the Quran. We are placed in positions accordingly. If we are smart enough, though, we can climb our way out of the cesspool, through the use of fame, intellect, money or beauty. Even then, though, we may still be called upon to sacrifice ourselves or loved ones for the greater good. The greater good, of course, is a small percent of people who enjoy living in penthouses or in the south of France. It's all about wants and needs, and the object of the game is the rich manipulating the poor in order to gain what they want. Usually by monopolizing resources, then extorting us with laws that we then submit to without disagreement. It is only when laws affect the elites negatively that those laws change. Poor people and their families are nothing more than pawns on a chessboard. Still, the ruling class was gracious while they changed from kings and queens into the elites, changing their persona and status, while meeting their growing needs. Building towers that climb above their surroundings, overwhelming us in hypnotic spells of grandeur. We worship the Eiffel Tower, Golden Gate Bridge and even the Twin Towers that fell in recent years. The blood of children is smeared upon the foundations of those structures, but do we care? We placed our vanity at the doorsteps of two buildings, while victims still perish today. We send our children off into the darkness, and some don't return. The world is actually overpopulated, and some believe that sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. This seems to be a common theme in every issue too. But what is the greater good though? WHO, the World Health Organization, actually has statistics of how many people are estimated to die within the next 50 years. John found out too, in order for an environmentalist to achieve what they want, carbon levels in the atmosphere need to go down to 165. In 1985, carbon levels were at 225. By the year 2000, levels were down to 185. In order for carbon levels to make it down to 165, the human population has to decrease. With a population of over 7 billion, we cannot achieve a carbon level of 165. In other words, population control is a top priority in geopolitics. To achieve these goals, people must die, and sterilize RTO laws enforced. How proud we were when those towers were built, with foundations strong and sure. Under those towers a spring was buried, filled with chaos and fury so pure. A battle raging so strong and silent, and the people without a clue. Hidden away within isolated bubbles, so far away from the world and all of its troubles. The earth began to rumble, the ground began to shake, while foundations began to crumble and those towers fell to the floor. Under the foundations we found two enemies, battling one another. Each burning with hatred, neither more furious than the other. Battling over the spring, neither wishing the bloodshed to end. Though if the bloodshed ends, the earth will no longer rumble, the ground will no longer shake and the towers will no longer fall. Brainwashed with propaganda, listening to stories that are told, boys and girls wish to adventure. Glossy-eyed, young and wanting to shoot a gun, while playing with black powder. Searching for adventure, fortune and fame, they travel to far-off lands. Mystery and adventure is all they see, yet, the more that is seen the more they want and more will be revealed. So sail across to that faraway land, map the skies as they go. The young should create not destroy, or be hypnotized and mesmerized either. Kids though will see, what they only wish to see. When they go just over that hill, they will see what was once golden orchards. Pastures once filled with rose petals, now nothing but scorched land. Looking towards the horizon they will speak of way back when, remembering how it used to be. When grass grew green and we were truly free, while in the back of their minds lay all the shame. What they truly became, the day they decided what they had to become. The lies they fell for and the leaders they followed, who selected only the best of the stock. Those who decided who shall live and who shall die.